So welcome everybody. We are so incredibly happy to have you all here. This is completely and totally incredibly wonderful. Thank you for all being here. I want to welcome all of our alumni who are in linguistics now, all of our alumni especially who have come but are doing other things that are not linguistics now. I want to welcome our former visitors, our friends, our colleagues, current students, recent students, former fellow students. It's really just totally stunningly fantastic that you're here. And it's also totally stunningly fantastic that we're celebrating 50 years of this wonderful graduate program in linguistics that's meant so much to all of us. So we know why we're here today, and I'm not going to tell you that we're here to celebrate linguistics at MIT. We also know who we are, right? And I'm not going to tell you that either. Well, I actually am a little bit. What I do want to talk about that's really incredibly remarkable is that the rest of the world also knows who we are, or thinks they know who we are. We're famous. And we're notorious. And what are we notorious for? So that's actually interesting, and I want to spend a moment on that. So we're notorious for a bunch of things. For example, we are, as we know, an organized army of linguist clones who mark in lockstep, chanting slogans in unison about underlying representations and universal grammar. We're also continually fighting with each other and can't agree on anything at all, right? We are stubborn and dogmatic, and we never change our minds no matter how strong the evidence against our point of view. We also change our minds so often that it's completely impossible to pin us down on anything, and nobody can win an argument against us, right? At least speaking as a syntactician, our theories, of course, only work for 3 or 4 trivial examples. They also rely on examples so fiendishly complicated that they couldn't possibly teach us anything about anything, right? We only work on English, and people are sick and tired of hearing us talk about Icelandic. What's wrong with MIT linguistics, the reason why we suck, is that nobody gives a damn about semantics. And the other thing that's wrong with us is everyone's doing semantics. Right? I won't even talk about phonology. Right? We are the 99%. Right? We are the 1%. Right? Okay, so if this were a linguistics talk, this is the point at which I would say all these paradoxes can be resolved if you accept my theory. Right? Okay. So what's my theory? I have a theory. So my theory is what we actually are as people, right? With all the diversity that actually in real life entails. So, we're extroverts, we're introverts, right? We're optimists, we're pessimists, we're tall, we're short. After looking through the photos that were sent in, I have to add some of us are clothed and some of us are not. And those photos will not be on display, but you can ask Gary if you want more information. We're old and we're young, which is probably a new fact about us 50 years on. And you will be meeting, speaking of the young, I hope, our fantastic and wonderful current graduate students and our recent graduates who are helping out with all the sessions, but will also be well represented at the poster sessions, and they'll all be at the dinner. So we are still young, right? And for all of our surface diversity, for all of the fact that we're just people, right, we do have something underlyingly in common, which is we were all molded and shaped in one way or another, varying depending on who we are, by this incredible, wonderful graduate program. In fact, this incredible, wonderful field that Noam and Morris made for us. And what that's all about, again, I don't have to tell you because it's what we're going to be discussing over the next 3 days. So I, once again, really would, from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of all of our hearts, want to welcome you all here. This is really a stunning event. Now, The program over the years has benefited from all of you and from all of those who've taught us and all of those who've gone before us and go after us. It's also benefited over the years from the strong and continuing support of the institution within which we're housed, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the place about which people always say they have linguistics at MIT, right? But yes, we have linguistics at MIT, thanks to the institution and to their support over the years. We are housed within the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, I would like to introduce to you our dean, who's been wonderfully supportive of us and of our program, and also of this event that you're at today. So without the support of the dean and of the school, we would not be having the reunion that we're having today. So to finish with a few more words of welcome, I'd like to introduce Dean Deborah Fitzgerald to you. Thank you.
Thank you, David. It's a huge pleasure to be here, and I have a funny feeling that if the dean had not supplied funds for this, it would still be a lot of fun and it would still be happening. But I'm happy to do it, believe me. I think, my job here is very simple and very brief, and it is really to welcome you to MIT, those of you who come from afar or from up the street, to say how thrilled we are that you are here. This is just an amazingly august group, and I feel very privileged to be part of it at all. The Institute knows full well that there is linguistics at MIT, and indeed, it is one of the most distinguishing features of MIT. Some of my engineering colleagues go traveling around the world, and they're very disgruntled to discover that many people seem to think it's the Massachusetts Institute of Linguistics, because that's what people know about it so dramatically and so specifically. So you bring great glory to the Institute, and the Institute wishes you all the best. Would like to help in any way possible. I want to thank David, and I think Donka also was part of the organizing of this, and Sabine for putting it together so elegantly and so well. Have a great couple of days. The very best from all of us in SHAS and MIT.